Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss IMO Level 2, a grade 8 paper. So first, let me tell you about the pattern of the paper. So paper is having total 50 questions and the entire paper is divided into two sections. One section contains like 45 questions and all the questions are related to the mathematics only. In IMO Level 2, you will not be getting any question from the reasoning section. All the questions will be there from mathematics only. 45 questions will be there and all the questions carries 1 marks. And after that, 5 questions will be there from the achiever section and all the questions are there for the 3 marks. Let's start with the paper. So the first question what we have over here is in the figure, whatever the figure is given to us, AB is parallel to CD. Okay, AB is already given parallel to CD. We are supposed to figure out the value of X. Okay, so what we can see over here, this angle is given to us, which is 61. This angle is given to us, which is 90. And the question is asking about this angle. So how can we figure it out, this angle? So for that, since this angle is 90 degree, this angle is 61 degree. So what we can do, we already know that sum of the angles of all the three angles of the triangle is 180 degree. Correct? So we will add 90 and 61 together. When we are adding 90 and 61 together, we are going to get 151. So what we can do, 19 and 61 together, we are adding, and in answer we are getting 151. From 180, we can subtract 151 and we will be getting what? 29 degree. So this angle will be what? 29 degree. Okay, this we can do. Now, since this angle is 90 degree, so and this angle is 20 degree, which is already given to us. Correct. If this angle is 90 degree, then this entire angle also needs to be 90 degree. Correct. Since these two lines are parallel lines only, and the sum of the co-interior angles should be equals to 180 degree. So if this is 90, then this entire angle should be 90 degree. And this part is 61. So this part we can easily figure it out. If we are going to subtract 61 from 90, we are going to get 29 degree. So this angle also needs to be 29 degree. Okay, now we know this angle, we know this angle. So this is 29 degree, this is 20 degree. We can easily figure out this angle since this ABD is also one of the triangle and sum of all the angles of the triangle is equals to 180 degree. So from 180 degree, we are going to subtract this 49 degree because 29 and 20 together makes what? 49 degree. So if from 180 degree, we are going to subtract 49 degree, we will be getting what? 131 degree. Correct? And this entire angle makes 180 degree. So, and from this, we already know this angle, which is 131 degree. So from 180, if we are going to subtract 131, we are going to get our answer as 49 degrees. So the value for X should be what? 49 degrees. So option A, 49 degree will be the correct answer. Now the next question. Next question is saying a certain sum invested at 4% per annum compounded semi-annually amounts to 7,803 at the end of the first year. Find the sum. So here amount is given to us. Okay, amount is given to us 7,803. Rate is given to us, which is 4%, and time is given to us, which is 1 year. And according to the question, the whole amount is compounded annually, the semi-annually. Semi-annually means we are supposed to divide the rate by 2 and we are supposed to divide the time also by 2. Okay, we know the formula where the amount is equals to P times 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power N. Okay, or T. Now, since here we are, the principal is not given to us. Okay, we are supposed to figure out the principal only. What we can do, we can put all the values over here like this. Okay, and it becomes what? 4 by 200 because we are supposed to divide the rate by 2. And this time becomes what? 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay, now we need to solve it. So when we are going to solve it, we will be getting 51 by 50 whole square. Correct. So when we are supposed to figure out the value of P, so that will equals to 7803 times 50 by 51 times 51. Okay, so now we need to solve it. So when we are going to solve this thing, so we will be getting where we can easily cut this thing 153 times. Okay, and this 153 we can cut by 51 3 times. Then we do have 50 times 50, which gives us 2500, and 2500 times 3 gives us 7500. So our principal needs to be 7500 rupees. Now the third question. Third question is if rupees 2,505 are distributed among the three persons A, B, and C so that their shares be diminished by rupees 5, 10, and 15. Then the remainder shall be in the ratio 2 ratio 3 ratio 4. We are supposed to figure out the share of C. How can we figure it out? So the total amount is given to us. Okay, total amount if we need to check, so that is given to us, which is equals to 2,505. Correct? And after diminishing, their share become like their share are going to be diminished by 5 rupees for A, 10 rupees for B, and 15 rupees for C. Okay, so if we are going to figure out their amount, whatever the amount, so that is what the actual amount what we have taken is A plus B plus C, correct, which is equals to 2505. Now after elimination we are going to take it like A dash, B dash, C dash, like that we are going to take it. So it becomes what? For A it becomes A minus 5, for B it becomes B minus 10, because 10 by 10 it got diminished, and for C it becomes C minus 15. Okay, whatever it is their actual share, from that we are going to subtract that. Okay, now uh, and after that, their remainder shall be in the ratio. Whatever the remainder we are going to get, that is there in the ratio, which is 2:3:4. Okay. So for what we can do, if we need to solve this thing. So for solving this thing, what we are doing, if we are going to add all of these things together, we will be getting A plus B plus C minus 5 minus 10 minus 15. And we know the value of A plus B plus C is 2505. Minus from that, we can subtract 30. And if we are going to subtract 30 from 2505, so we are going to get 2475. Okay, so this is the amount after their diminishing, whatever the value is going to be reduced. Okay, so this is the amount what we are getting. So now the ratio what is given to us, so the ratio of their remainder is what? 2:3:4. So if we are going to figure out the total of the ratio, so we will be getting it as 9, correct? So for finding the per share, for finding it, what we can do, we can divide the amount whatever we are getting 2475 by 9, and when we are going to divide this amount by 9, we will be getting 275. Okay. Now the question is asking what is the share of the C. So shares, C's part is what? 4. So C's shares needs to be 275 times 4. Okay. And when we are going to solve it like 275 times 4, we are going to get as 1100. Okay. So 1100 is the amount, but 15 is the remainder. So we need to add 15 over here. After that, we are going to get 1115 rupees for this. Okay. So this will be the answer for this. Now let's move to the next question. Okay, now the next question is we need to factorize this thing. Okay, this is the like here we are supposed to use the identities as well. This is 24 x minus y whole cube minus 32 x minus y whole square. Okay, so how can we solve it? So for that, clearly we can see from the entire thing we can take common. What thing we can take common? We do have 8 as a common and x minus y whole square as common. So 8 and x minus y whole square we can take out as a common. Now after that, what we are left with? We are left with x minus y 1 and sorry, we are left with 6x minus y. 3x minus y minus 4. Okay. Now when we are going to solve it, so we are going to get 3x minus 3y minus 4. Okay. So this will be our final answer. Okay. So this is going to be our final answer, which is option C. Now the next question is saying a thickness of a hollow metallic cylinder is 2 centimeter and it is 70 centimeter long with the outer radius of 14 centimeter. Okay, outer radius is given to us, which is 14 centimeter. Okay, find the volume of the metal used in making the cylinder, assuming that it is open at both the ends, and also find its weight. If the total weight of 8 according to the 8 gram per centimeter cube is given to us. Okay, so for that what we need to do, suppose this is the cylinder and it's a metallic hollow cylinder. Okay, so definitely it is like this and it is open from both the ends. So the thickness of a hollow metallic cylinder is what? 2 centimeters. So this thickness is what? 2 centimeter. And it is 70 centimeter long. So this is 70 centimeter. The height is what? 70 centimeter. With the outer radius of 14 centimeter, which means the outer radius means this part. This total part is what? 14 centimeter. Find the volume of the metal used in making the cylinder. We are supposed to figure out the volume of the metal, whatever we are using for making this cylinder. So now we know the outer radius. Let's take the outer radius as capital R. Okay, and let's take the inner radius as small r. Okay, we know the outer radius is 14 centimeter. Correct. So for finding the inner radius, what we can do, the outer radius, whatever the outer radius, if we are going to subtract the width of the thickness, whatever is given to us. So we will be able to figure out the inner radius. So if from the 14, if we are going to subtract 2, we will be getting what? 12 centimeters. So 12 centimeters is going to be what? That is going to be our inner radius. Correct. Now the question is asking what is the volume of the metal, whatever we are using. So for that, we need to use the volume of a hollow cylinder. Okay, we need to use the volume of a hollow cylinder. For that, the volume of a hollow cylinder, the formula what we have is V is equals to pi h. In the bracket, we do have R square, which means outer radius square minus inner radius square. Correct. So by using this formula, we need to solve it. So the value of pi, we already know, which is 22 by 7. Height is given to us, which is 70. Outer radius is what? 14 square, and inner radius is what? 12 square. Okay, we need to solve it by this. So this we can cut already 10 times. 22 times 10, we are going to get 220. Now we need to solve this. So 14 square is 196 and 12 square is 144. We can subtract them. So we will be getting 220 times 52. And when we are going to solve it, we are going to get 11,440 centimeter cube. So this will be the volume of the cylinder. Along with the volume, the question is also talking about the weight if the metal 8 gram per centimeter cube is used. Okay, so to find the weight, what we need to do, we are supposed to figure out the weight over here. And for weight, we already know we can figure it out by volume times density, which is already given to us. So if we are going with this, so we know the weight will be what? 11,440 times 8 gram per centimeter cube. So we are going to multiply it by 8 and the weight we are going to get 91,520 gram. Okay, that will be our answer. So option C is gonna be our correct answer. Now the next question. The next question is saying the average man of 10 the average age of a 10 man is increased by 5 years when the two of them whose ages are 20 years and 84 years are replaced by the two men. We are supposed to figure out the average age of the two new men. Whatever the two new men are added in the replacement of the other, we are supposed to figure out the average of those two men. The average age of those two men. So for if we are going with the question, so what is exactly given to us? The ages of the two men being replaced. So if we are going with this, so the ages of the two men being replaced is given to us, which is 84 and 20, correct? So the ages of the two men which got replaced. That is what? 20 plus 84. That gives us what? 104 years. Okay, after that it is saying the average age here, the average age of 10 men, okay, is increased by 5 years, which means that average age of 10 men, if it is going to be increased by 5 years, so the total increment if we are going to figure out, like how much total increment is there. So that is what, since the age is 10 for the 10 men and it increased by 5 years, so we need to multiply it by 5. Then we are going to get like by 50 years it got increased. Okay. Now, if we are going to calculate the total age of the two new men, so how we are going to calculate the total age of the two new men? So that will equals to total age of two new men. That is gonna be 104 plus 50. Okay, which gives us what? 54 years. Because the sum is already 104 years, no, and it got increased by 50 more years. Okay, so we need to add them, and in total we are going to get 154 years. Now we need to calculate the average age of the two new men, whomsoever the new men are going to be added. So for them, the average age is gonna be, that is gonna be 154, which is our age, divided by 2. So when we are going to solve it, we will be getting 77 years. Okay, so that is gonna be our answer. Now the next one. The next question is saying an unbiased dice is thrown 2 times having first 6 consecutive odd numbers on each 6 faces. Find the probability of getting the sum as 15. Okay, so here first the thing that we need to notice, the question is saying that on its faces the consecutive odd numbers are there. Suppose on the one face number 1 is there, on the second face number 3 is there. So when we are going to add them, the total we are going to get a score, correct? Like suppose take on one dice it is 3, on other dice it is 5. So the sum we are going to get is 8, correct? And if we are going to take any other number, so suppose if it is 3 here and what else we can take? We can take 1. 1 we have already taken, 3 we have already taken, 1 and 5 we are going to take, then also we are getting 6. So Basically, the thing is, if we are going to add an odd numbers together, so every time the sum we are going to get is even number. There is no not at all possible anything. Like if we are going to get, if we are going to add two odd numbers together, and we can get the sum also as an odd number. Okay, it's not at all possible. So when the things are not possible, so probability of those things are zero. Now the next question. A courier person cycles from a town to the neighboring suburban areas at a distance of 22 kilometers to deliver a parcel to the merchant. His distance from the town at a different times is shown by the following graph. How much time did the person take to reach the place of the merchant? So he has started it at 8 a.m. Okay, and since the question is talking about till 22 kilometers, we are going to see the where at what time the 22 kilometers he has covered. So that is around what 11:30. So from 8 to 11:30, we need to figure out what is the duration of the time from 8 to 11:30. So that is gonna be what 3.5 hours. Okay, so that's why our answer would be 3.5 hours. Now the next. Okay, the next question is saying the length of the rectangle exceed its width by 5 centimeters. Suppose take the width as b only. Okay, we are going to take the width as b. So if the width is b, okay, then the length would be what? That would be, that needs to be 7 more than the width. The length of a rectangle exceeds its width by 7 meters. So that length needs to be width plus 7, correct? So from this, we are going to figure out the area. Area of the rectangle is what? Length times breadth. So that needs to be b plus 7 times b. If we are going to solve it, we will be getting b square plus 7b. Correct? Now, if the width is decreased by 3 meters, now the width, new width, what we are going to get, that is going to be decreased by 3 meters and the length decreased by 10 meters. So the new length would be what? That is already decreased by 10 meters. So we are going to get b minus 3. And area, according to the question, that has decreased by, new area has decreased by 95 square meter. Area we are getting is b square plus 7b. Now it has decreased by 95. Okay. So now if we need to solve it, so the area we are going to get as b square plus 7b minus 95. Okay. Because area also got reduced by this only. B square plus 7b minus 95. Here we are going to get as b minus 3. Okay, so if we are going to figure out the new area according to the question, so we are going to get it as b minus 3 times b minus 3, which gives us b minus 3 whole square. And according to this, the area is already reduced by 95 square meters. So we can see the new area should be b square plus 7b minus 95. And when we are going to solve this, we are going to get b square minus 6b plus 9. Correct, b square we can cancel out. 7b plus 6b should equals to 9 plus 95. So here this side we are going to get 13b and this side we are going to get as 104. So the value of b we are going to get as 8. Okay, the value of width we are going to get as 8. Okay, if the width is 8, then the length needs to be 8 plus 7, that gives us 15 meters. Okay, so length needs to be 15 and width needs to be 8. So the answer needs to be option B. Next question. The diagonal of an isosceles trapezium are always equal. Isosceles trapezium means when the non-parallel sides are also equal to each other. Then that particular trapezium is known as was isosceles trapezium. And when we are going to draw the diagonals of it, they are always equal.